What's up, guys? This is Mexican Burt Reynolds, and today we are playing World of Warships. We are on Neighbors, and in this game, we are in literally my favorite ship in the entire game thus far, the Tier 6 American destroyer, the Benson. You know, Benny and I are both on the same page. We understand one another. We make things happen. You know, they say American destroyers are just kind of like gunships. You know, that's all they're good for. They have amazing guns. That's it. This is the total package. I prefer to call this ship Lex Luger. This thing has 9.2 click fish, and it has 2 launchers that are 5 each. And it is just a literal wall of skill you can fire at someone, and it is utterly amazing. The guns are amazing, the fish are amazing, you know, the speed, mobility. It doesn't turn quite as fast as say, for example, the Grimiasi, but it's very, very close. Really, really amazing ship. I love this thing. Highly recommend you pick this bad boy up. It has been fully upgraded. It has all the packages, all the additional packages. We're running quite a loadout now. It really is something very, very special. I love it. You will love it too, I am sure. Taking a little bit of fire here. Literally, we are literally on fire, and people are shooting at us as well. We just had to lay some smoke down. Let's see if we can't launch some fish out there. See what's happening. You know, the good thing about having 9.2 kilometer fish is they're kind of like to whom it may concern. Because the gunfire is directly addressed to someone. You know, these are to whom it may concern. Now, I've recently learned if you're seeing the side of a cruiser with your destroyer, then you can kind of fire AP. As long as you see their broadside, however, you don't necessarily want to fire it if they're bow tanking you. Something to think of, food for thought. You know, until recently, I did not know these things, and I'm still learning the game as we go. I played it for a tiny bit on PC. I didn't really get anywhere. I was not really digging it. Lots and lots of different keys to hit. You know, not necessarily as bad as some of the other games, but I was just not a fan as far as my personal PC experience. So I didn't play it a whole lot. However, I am really digging it here on Xbox One. The interface is very, very good. I like it a lot. You know, and I think for the most part, as far as it goes, I think the devs were talking about maybe taking it to Tier 8 way down the road, but they don't want to go any higher than that so they can maintain the +1, -1 matchmaking. However, they are going to bring in carriers, which is the World of Tanks version of Artie, but it's all good because different ships have different AA ratings, and it just really ends up landing on you. So, anyway, moving on back to the game here. We're throwing a lot of stuff here at this jet, and you know, we're trying to go ahead and just secure that last little bit of damage for a kill, and we are in the process here of throwing some fish down range. A lot of targets of opportunity here. As you can see, I'm still having, you know, issues deciding where to lead people. Now, granted, in an American DD that has such fast guns, it's not that big of a deal. However, when you get to your battleships, it is a massive deal. Because even on the cruisers, it's not really that bad, depending on the cruiser. Now, granted, of course, you go into Japanese destroyer, it is a totally different ballgame, considering they have, you know, double the reload time of the Americans, if not more. So, just something to think about. You just kind of have to keep your head on a swivel, make sure. Boy, those fish look good. They look like they're really going to connect. Let's hope it happens. You know, another thing I've also noticed is that the games for World of Warships are considerably longer than World of Tanks. And I guess that makes sense because, you know, you have a large map and you kind of have to accommodate everybody and give these poor battleships some room to hide. Because I can't tell you how many battleships I've looked up that are like Tier 4 that have a 15-kilometer detection range. Literally, you can see these things from low Earth orbit, and I think the only thing that's probably going to be higher than that is the carriers, although I do not know for sure. moving on. As you can see here, folks, I am trying to stealth torp some folks to see, you know, if I can get a little bit of damage here, stack up a little bit of damage. We're doing very well here. We've already got almost 55,000. Tons and tons of damage. Still a lot of ships on the map, so we still have a lot of damage out there we can still farm. However, I have to kind of keep my head on a swivel, because, you know, primarily it's the other DDs that are kind of my enemy. If you ever watched the 80s ninja show, God, I can't even remember what it's called, American Ninja or something, they say, only a ninja can defeat another ninja. Shokashugi, amazing. I think it is called American Ninja. Anyway, boom, only a DD can defeat another DD, which, you know, in general purposes is kind of the idea. They can detect one another very easily because they can creep up on another. But you know what? Don't get it twisted. If you get out there in the open and, you know, a battleship sees you, he is going to lather you up very properly. There's only so much finessing you can do to get out of the way of all that hatred. Moving on. So we're kind of creeping up to this gentleman right here on my 12 o'clock, and the idea is we're just going to kind of get in close, if possible, and see if we can't lay some hate down range. The problem is his directed course is just so much further away from me than I currently am that I almost have to be on top of him for the fish to end up catching him. So my plan is I'm going to try to cut around this island to my 12 and see if I can't maybe fire the fish around that blind corner. However, I am a little concerned his or someone's spotter plane is going to get me, as well as the fact there's a cloud over there. So, you know, obviously there's a destroyer over there, so we don't necessarily want to take any fire from that gentleman either. At any rate, we're going to keep it pushing and see what happens. So far here, we're creeping around the back of the island. Maybe kind of get a little cover in between us. We blind fire the fish, so when that DD comes around that corner, he's going to have something nice and pretty waiting on him. And a tactic I've been doing lately, guys, is if I have two floats of fish, I've been firing one and then kind of holding off on the other 30 seconds, what have you. And, you know, unless, of course, someone's very, very close, then, you know, as Double D says, give them the beans. But if you have one in your back pocket, you're not totally defenseless if somebody runs up on you or you have a really good opportunity. Now, you'll see, guys, a lot of times I'm only firing the guns defensively. If you're posted up in a cloud and you can see folks or somebody spotting folks, lay into them. But for the most part, you kind of want to shoot defensively, and that's kind of what we're doing. We don't have anything else to do here, so we're going to see if we can't farm a little bit of damage while we finesse. Speaking of finesse, that would have hurt / possibly killed us. He missed every single shot. Well, somebody didn't miss one. At this point, I'm not exactly sure who all is firing at me, but, you know, we're kind of getting to the situation where they literally need to take a number, because I am beset on all sides by enemies, just the way we like it. A gentleman right here, to our 10 o'clock, putting some serious heat down range here on me. We're going to see if we can't maybe possibly send him a little housewarming present here, and then he just kind of ends up decorating me. It is what it is. You know, you can't win every single time. We almost got about 60,000 damage on there, so it was really not bad at all. I don't remember recording this game at all, and I look back on it and I said, wow, there's like, you know, another 5, 6, 7 minutes of footage of just, you know, ships going around in circles shooting at each other. I was like, let me go ahead and skip past that to the good part, which of course is the end of the game, where you see how much damage you did, how much XP you got, so on and so forth. And we did fairly well. I mean, you know, almost 60,000 damage. Now, granted, it's not the highest, but it is far from the lowest. So we're very, very happy with that. We ended up going out there, making it happen, you know, and kind of, you know, putting some people in submission, in the Cobra Clutch, if you will. So the game is over. We did, in fact, lose 1997 XP, 57,958 damage, a cool little 200k of coin there to kind of fund our ship buying business. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you guys next time. Whoop.